Sliding on him go crazy.
And we were just saying the reason that his account is the way it is because we're trying to transfer his content to be going from emotional content, virality content, all the little emotional heartbreak stuff, to now we're trying to transition his content to being more professional, like your content, more mindset, drive people to the Discord that aren't heartbroken and jerking off because we want a different audience. The audience that we want does not jerk off. I should not have to tell you guys that. Let me be clear with this before we get into the 1%. Is that the kind of people that we want? I want everybody. I want everybody that feels great and does great and performs. The people that are still jerking off and distracting themselves are the people who need to go watch my old content. Those are the people that still need to go through pain. Those are the people who still need to have certain experiences. You should be past that. You should be far past that. So we are looking for people who are already on their journey. They're already developing themselves. They care about what they look like. They care about what they do. But you guys, welcome back to another episode of the Get 1% Better podcast. And we were talking about a very important topic that a lot of you might be having issues with currently. A lot of people who have had social media accounts in the past might have built a very, very big audience, such as myself. And they are noticing that their audience is not as engaged with their content as they were before. They're not getting the same views as before. The same format of content, the style of content that you've been doing for the past year isn't working anymore. You're not getting views. Your old followers are gone. So we're going to talk about how we can get out of that rut. We're going to talk about how me and John built our accounts during Corona between the years of 2022 and 2024, and how you can pivot your content, pivot yourself, and pivot your story to be able to keep up with new algorithms, new people, and new trends. So
without a doubt, and let's get 1% better. Let's get fucking started on the podcast. All right. Big deal on transferring. I guess it would be changing niches, but the best thing that it is our pages are now evergreen. We had sad boy vibes, brokenhearted, posting emotional content, and now it's time to switch over, which is why it's a journey when you go through our content. It's a journey from where we were to where we are now. You really want to identify your content though while going through it. The views are going to tank. The niche, some people are not ready for the change, and people did not make the transfer like you did, or as fast as you did. You know what I mean?
Because I wanted to do it for you, but it really does depend on how you do it. And you know how different parts of what I do, I call them a maintenance phase.
Yeah.
So a maintenance phase is basically a time where you only post the content that's going to get views. You make sure that you keep your views up, because if your account loses a certain amount of engagement, you can get blacklisted or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, and then your account just basically will never make views again.
Well, we even proved that you guys can revive your account.
100%. Revamping your page is possible if you put in the time and you get back to the same consistency and post.
And you're patient.
Basically, you have to repost the stuff that was working. That's how it works. We're back on the page, like you were talking, creating a layout of let's post. You're more engaged, cultivating at the beginning of the day, like you said, 10-ish, 12-ish maybe is what you said, right?
Yes.
And then later at night, when you're everyone's in the emotional phase, I guess you would say, where our trending content is trending, Lex
is starting from ground zero.
100%, but he was saying that he didn't have enough content. I would like to say that, hey, your content.
Well, very specifically, just think about it. If you have less than 10,000 followers and you're trying to gain views, you should be thinking about it in terms of, if a video gets 1 million views, you can repost that video 3, 4, 5 times. Even if all 10,000 of your followers see it every single time and they get annoyed by it, I promise you, that's still 990,000 views times 5.
100%.
That you are getting more chances of people to follow you, more people to see you, recognize you, acknowledge your content, interact with it. So repost content, even if it performs well. Not to say that you can post the same thing, but the very same tip that I gave my brother. If you don't feel like you have enough content, we went on 3 trips in the past year that I can recall.
Yeah.
If you're a content creator, or if you just like taking pictures, or if you just pull your phone out and you're on your phone a lot, you should take advantage of this, or you should do this if you want to get started making content. He said he doesn't have enough back-to-back. I said, search all the locations that you know looked aesthetic. Charlotte, New York, and Mexico were used for reference.
Yeah.
I said, go back, search those areas, look for all the pictures and videos that you have in those areas. all of that content, move it, put it into an album, like content for you, so whatever the case may be, move all of those pictures and videos, compile it, and from that you can make tons and tons of videos. You can do voiceovers, you can do text posts, you can do motivational content, you can do green screens on different current events. That's a whole nother type of content. So don't make the excuse of I don't have enough content, or I can't make content, or like you have no excuse.
You also brought in a really good point. What have you you said point of view is doing really well right now. So just record yourself, like you said, going to the coffee shop, setting up meetings,
opening the car door,
opening the car door, like on your laptop, like simple, silly things like that. And then you throw in a little bit of the, oh, look at me dressed nice here at a nice restaurant. Look at me, what I'm doing with clients. Whatever.
Whatever content you're trying to create.
Exactly. Go in that direction, and you throw it in and hints of what you're trying to do. Big deal on rebranding your profile. You really want to keep your bio up to date, and you really want to keep your stories up to date. You know what I mean?
Yeah, your stories especially, because I'll tell you guys this. Most people don't know this, and most people won't know this, but Instagram is about to roll out something. It's going to be called Recent Highlights. So in the highlights bar, there's going to be where your stories are posted, the highlights, and then you know how your ring glows around your icon when you post throughout that day. What they're going to have is your top performing stories from the past 7 days are going to be your most high performing. It's going to be the longest. They're going to make sure that people can see this for an entire week. It's not just going to be for 24 hours.
Yeah, 100%. I also say if you're trying to switch your niche, if you're trying to, I would say you need to collaborate with a lot more people that are in your niche versus people that are not in your niche. So if you're switching your niche at the same time as I am, we should find people that are already in the niche and collaborate. You know what I'm saying?
Literally.
And reach out. I mean, just DM. Just be like, hey, would you want to do a video? Would you mind if I, maybe split in or duet your videos or whatever it may be? You know what I mean? Or use this video idea if it did well for them.
I mean, even with that, like collaboration posts in general, like whether you're working with a company or another creator, they get more views. You share the audiences, you share the views, you have a chance to find a whole group of people that like your personality, like you, like your content style. There's always that chance, but making connections will be very, very powerful for you. But the biggest thing is to focus on what you're doing, growing what you're doing, and getting better at what you're doing. Yes, you can post the same thing every day and you can continue to get views, but make sure, as we always say, get 1% better every time you post. Understand the post, understand the text, sharpen up the graphics.
On top of that, you should already be analyzing your content on what is doing well. So if you basically see that a video did well, obviously it's probably the emotion why there's engagement, or whatever the comments are saying is what your engagement is.
You need to be constantly analyzing.
But you need to analyze it and basically break it down and check what the performance of the video. Why did it do well? Was it the hashtags? Was it the comments? Was it the time of day I post? And then just analyze it basically and implement that into the same niche, which is, I would say mostly like you may have to change the posting time of day.
You need to mess with it.
If you're changing, so for like emotion, it's at the end of the day, everyone has a lot more emotion, obviously, but
they have pent up rage.
Exactly. They're just like ready to go to sleep and they just want something chill and like mindless. You know what I mean? They're not ready to get motivated at fucking 10:30 like we are for a podcast.
No, it's more of your slow motivate.
Exactly.
You have to test it though.
100% know your niche, and also I would say like a lot of platforms don't push if you post it late at night, they don't push your content until like the next morning,
which is great,
like 8-9 o'clock. You know what I mean?
Plus you have the 6 a.m.ers who are on the gym equipment scrolling.
Yep.
Don't forget
they're
them.
Scrolling and not getting off the machines when I want you to.
That's when I come in there and I say, hey, how many more sets do you have left?
No, I ain't asking shit. You better just get the fuck off when you see me walk by you.
That's called telling, not asking. But, yeah, that's what you need to do.
We should just buy the gym. Fuck it.
That's called Minecraft. Build your own gym.
Yes.
But it's fantastic. But, yeah, in terms of that, These are different things that you can do. There are plenty of different things out there that people should be doing and should be taking advantage of. It depends on like who you are, what your niche is. You need to be able to identify these things. But that's why the 10-year plan is the biggest thing for me. You need to identify at least 3 things that you know that you could do year-round.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like you have to identify your interests because it's going to change. You're going to mature. You're going to get older. You're going to have different assets. You're going to have different money. You're going to fall, and you're going to lose some things, and you're going to gain some things. I would have done a bike or a car page, but I had a motorcycle accident, and that kind of prohibited me from making that kind of content.
Yeah.
All to say, have some backup plans, but never have a backup plan for creating content. If you create a backup plan, you will always be giving half-ass. You will always be like, oh, I can always just fall back to it. If you have that backup plan, you're not going to be focused on plan A. You're going to be focused on the fact that if it doesn't work, you're going to have a plan B.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to be focused on that. You need to be focused 100% on making plan A work the first time. Doing everything you can like there isn't a plan B the first time. Yeah. That's how you should be with content creation and business endeavors, with fitness. You should always be looking at planning like that. You shouldn't be planning later.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be putting shit off. You shouldn't be having a plan B in case you suck. You need to make sure that you perform the first time so that you don't fall. Yeah. That's very, very important. I've had plenty of losses that way, and I've lost plenty of things because I didn't put in enough effort.
I would say there's a difference in being prepared for a situation and planning to fail. There's a difference. You can be prepared for it to basically, you can plan for it to fail, and if you're already planning to fail, it's going to fail. It's not going to work out. It's going to turn out the way you want it to. But being prepared for if that situation was to happen is different than planning to fail.
You know subconsciously, if you're thinking that you're going to fail, you're going to fail. It's what they call it is subconscious self-destruction.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
If you're already doubting yourself, if you already think things are going to fail, if you're already thinking that things aren't going to work, you're already putting that negative energy into it. First of all, to actually succeed in something, you need to believe that you can do it.
100%.
It doesn't matter if it's jumping, riding a bike, starting a business, creating content, being the best speaker. Yep. If you don't even believe it to begin with, you will never become it. So, like, I don't know how you guys look at different things. I don't know your faith. I don't know. But there's one thing that I do know is that actions and words are very powerful, whether you speak it or whether you think it. And
you should speak it and think it. If you're going to go into, you're supposed to do both.
But you should believe wholeheartedly in 100%. Both. If you don't believe in it, it's never going to happen. It's never going to come to you, and it's not. You're not worthy of it if you don't actually believe it. Especially if you're
starting a business. If you don't believe in yourself succeeding, then why should anyone else believe in your product or believe in your business?
They won't.
You know what I mean? Exactly. So, and I would say more people gravitate to a business that it's pushing down their throat saying, I believe this is going to work, this is going to work, this is going to work. And even they put that in their mind, then you start thinking about them. They're going to work, they're going to work, they're going to work, they're going to work. I'm going to work with them, I'm going to work with. Exactly. So
anybody that you work with should be just as excited as you about working with you.
100%.
Like me, I stay up at night all the time working on different things, thinking of ideas. Like I cannot fall asleep at night sometimes until I write the idea down that's in my head because I just think about it so much.
There's plenty of times that when we go to, like, exactly the other night we were at the coffee shop and we were talking about it, and I'm just we're always at coffee shops. Okay, so but we were at a coffee shop and we were going through basically the business and stuff and the business aspects about it, and we were like, well, there's no way it's gonna fail. Like, this is a foolproof plan. Like, what the heck, you know what I mean? It's gonna work. We got to get this many people and, you know, knock out these clients and get it rolling, you know what I mean? So, and then I couldn't sleep that night. So it's like, it's contagious. It really is contagious. He's pushed it for like years and years to come. Like, ever since I met him, I truly believe in him, and we're gonna make it happen, you know what I mean?
It's going to be a beautiful process. And this kind of goes for everybody, especially like a lot of you guys that are watching the podcast. You guys come from other platforms to watch the podcast. A lot of you guys that are in my DMs, in the Discord, you are the people that have actively came to me and said, I've been watching you for a long time.
Yeah.
I've seen you grow. I believe in what you do. I believe in what you talk about. And that's why it is very, very important that you also focus on the fact that you're not going to get it now. You're not going to achieve it now. You're not going to make $10,000 now. You need to be doing things for a while. You need to be in this for a while. Not to say that you can't make money fast. Mm-hmm. Not to say that you won't have a big break. I truly hope that you find success early. But unless you have gone through the different things and trials and failures to be able to maintain that success, I promise you, you will be much more happy with the quality of life after you've learned the different things that you need to do in order to actually maintain that success,
Yeah.
rather than gain it and lose it. I've gained it and I've lost it, and you will be much happier once you learn those painful lessons.
Exactly. 100%. I believe in it. Another key point I was gonna get to. What was it?
Words.
Yeah, I know. I just lost all of them. That's wild. Okay, we were talking about it takes time and stuff, but also social media now. This is why we say before you even basically join the Discord and the courses and taking the courses, you need to go through your social media and get rid of that content. You know what I mean? The content. If you're gonna get into making content, you need to get rid of the scrolly, feedy, trendy. You know what I'm saying? Like the shit that you're just gonna scroll through and just keep going about your business, because
you need to be a producer, not a consumer.
100%. And if you're gonna listen to, I will say there are people out there that just, I'm 20 years old and I'm making this. I look at my Ferrari and look at this and look at that, and why is that in your feed? Get it out of your feed. That's just going to make you feel like you're behind, and you're really not behind.
That's all of my feed.
And get it out, because it's not what you want to. It's not obviously if you're different about it, because you see that it fuels you.
I see it, I'm gonna do it.
Exactly.
But you guys should also have that same mindset shift.
If it happened exactly, we should have the same mindset and mind shift into, hey, if they can do it, we can do it too. But the main thing is get the content out that is discouraging to you, based off of it's just, maybe it's a. What is it? I don't know. Maybe it's what was it? Maybe you know what I'm talking about. The content is just that degrades you. It's just they're having.
It melts your brain.
They're having.
It's brain rot.
They have the life. I'm not gonna be. I may not have nothing like that ever, or whatever it may be. You know,
listen,
it's
you
very
guys.
degrading if you can watch somebody that's doing it and it's they got the money, but they also make it look easy on social media, but it's really not. They may have made it and they don't know the struggles. You know what I mean? They don't put out the struggles.
The way that I should put it, you guys, is it doesn't matter. Honestly, this applies for you, this applies for your mother, this applies for the people on your team. If you want to use your phone in a healthy manner, especially if you're a content creator, you should only consume 3 types of content. 1,
resource
you need to do what?
Research content.
Yeah, you should only be looking at research content, researching and finding things that you're going to post or repost. You should have educational content, continuing to learn things about the algorithms, about the way your platform works. See what your other people are doing. You should watch educational content, and these are the only kinds of content you should consume. Thirdly, being your communicative, or the people that you follow. The people in your space, the people you're supposed to keep up with.
The people you're going to reach out with, and the people you're going to work with.
Yes.
Things like that. People that are
your
supporters. These are the
only things that you should be... Well, supporters, it depends. If you follow them, sure, but you should never follow something that is not in your niche, that is actually helping you, or that you would ever watch. I have people that come to me every single day that say, hey, can you follow me back? No, if you don't post content, or if it's not valuable content, there's no reason to follow it in the first place.
Yeah. 100%.
So those are the only 3 types of content that you should ever consume if you want to be successful and have a good experience on your phone.
I guess you could, back to switching your niches, you want to monitor your contact feedback and adjust, which is basically tracking your engagement matrix. You know what I'm talking about?
See.
So you definitely, along those lines, with collaborating, going through and basically changing your bio, redefining your content, because that's essentially what the podcast is about, is just redefining your content. If you are in a spot where it's hey, I want to transfer it over and make it more brandy, more businessy, less trendy, Well,
it depends on how deep you are in the content. If you are having a personal brand and that's what you do, you might have to switch it. If you're starting a brand new page, you might be in a better position to be able to
trendy
redirect things correctly.
Yeah. Well, you can learn all that in a fucking Discord.
Yeah, if you go to the Discord, you will learn everything that we talk about on this podcast and in all of our calls.
So, someone asked me the other day, is it $47 a month or is it $47 one-time payment?
It's $47 a month.
Okay.
because I'm constantly going to be updating and adding shit. Like, I'll tell you guys a secret. Most people don't know this. This is how I got some of my first videos on Instagram to reach millions of views and didn't change a single other thing in my videos. What I did, most people don't realize this, social media and specifically our phones and specifically iPhones have very good colors and RGB panels. Now, what I did to my videos is I had the video, I would have it in 10K. What I would do is I have a preset now, but back in the day, I would mess with the RGB colors, green, blue, and red. Naturally, scrolling through TikTok and Instagram, it releases dopamine. Every single hit, every single time we see something that we really, really like. Yeah. That's a dopaminergic release.
Yeah, like
what I did on top of that,
grabs their eyes,
the music, and the colors. So I would disrupt the 3 RGB colors, blue, red, and green, and that would amplify the text, the color, and the dopaminergic release would be 100x, 200x. Whereas if you were just looking at it and it looked nice and it looked clean, that's great. Yeah. But I would literally mess with the color and dopaminergic release.
And when you have presets like that, you can pump out videos when you're just applying those presets. Oh, yeah.
But you would just get accidental views because people would just be attracted to it. Exactly. Like, that's the only reason I did it, is because people would just, like, people would sit next to me and watch it and they'd be like, I don't know why this looks so good, but I love it.
Yeah, yeah.
And they don't know. Yeah. But if you look really closely, you can see all of the colors, all of the color distortion.
It's different for us because when we're looking at it, it's like, hey, he added the blue. Oh, hey, he added the red at this time.
It's like color grading.
And also, like, you can change audios. You can make audios yourself. You can add, you know what I'm saying? You can add audio or add in different types of audios.
Yeah, there's different hooks. There's text, there's visual, there's color, there's audible.
Yeah.
There's lots and lots of different hooks. There's lots of different ways to keep people engaged with your content. You just need to mess with it, study it, educate yourself, and keep up with it. That's really all
I would say you really need to educate yourself on each platform. Each platform, I think, if you go into like the professional dashboard and you go into on Instagram and you go into the TikTok creator studio, it really talks about, if you read it, it tells you how to get views. It really does.
No, it does.
On top of that, like if
it's very detailed compared to what it used to be. Back in the day, we didn't have that.
No, we didn't. We had to figure it out ourselves, and
you just had to look at the post and be like, "Why did this perform well? Let me be smart and just look at the barely any information."
This guy because he got 1 million. I see 1 million. Let me copy that real quick.
That's basically
what happened. How you get views, but.
That's how you get velocity content.
Now you go in and you just research it. You find guys that are like us, trying to teach people that are starting from ground zero or need to revamp their page or redirect their niche and build from scratch or rebrand.
I'm about to start another account and I'm going to grow it to 100K.
You want to start another account?
Just another one. I had to be able to show that I can do it again and again and again.
So I thought about doing starting like a spam account, I guess you would say, like just every day. Like,
we should start our clip accounts at least.
You want to start clip accounts?
We need to start clip accounts so that we can redistribute our own shit, but also make sure that we understand how the algorithms work, so that we know how to grow pages and grow videos and distribute content. Valuable content.
It'd be pretty funny just to clip our main shit. That'd be funny.
That's what we're gonna do.
100%.
Do you have anything else you want to talk about before we close out this informational Get 1% Better podcast? We're going to keep it short and snappy for you guys today, but we do have very, very important stuff that we want to share with you and give you guys an update as to what the fuck we're trying to do. When it comes to creating content, yes, you should post as much as physically possible in the beginning. Me and my brother Nick, kind of touching on that as well, me and my brother Nick had that conversation today. He was like, I feel really bad. I posted something today on social media. It didn't get as many views. I feel like shit because it only took me an hour to scrap it together. And first of all, an hour of your time is a lot of time, first of all. It's very valuable. But second of all, you got up, you posted, you made sure that you still got it in regardless of not having something ready. You still made it happen. And that's very important, to stay consistent, to do things when you don't want to do it. And sometimes you're going to put work out that might not be your proudest work, but you have to remember that do it every day, but get better every day. Because one day you'll look back and be like, holy shit, I can't believe I came from that. But you continuing to get better, you will produce better content. You will find ways to be more efficient so this doesn't happen to you again. You will just feel better. It will look better. You'll look back. You'll be proud that you came this far, and you'll be proud that you continued to get better so that you can get to the point where you can be like, wow, I'm proud of this. But
100%.
All of that to say.
On that note, let's close this out.
Yes, so I hope you guys did enjoy this episode of the Get 1% Better podcast. If you guys did, let me know below. Let me know what your favorite part was. And if you guys have questions or topics for the next one that you think that we should touch on and talk about, also comment that below. Recommend this podcast to somebody that would benefit. And until next time, remember to get 1% better every single day. And we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Peace.